If you like what you see, if I can please request you to subscribe to my channel. So what is headline inflation and what exactly is core inflation? So let's take a step back and answer what exactly inflation is. As discussed in earlier videos, it's a measure of the rate of rising prices in an economy. Headline inflation includes a basket of goods that includes food and energy. Core inflation, on the other hand, excludes food and energy prices while calculating the inflation number. Since the price of food and fuel are volatile and do fluctuate a lot, core inflation is a lot more stable. But you probably want to know, why are food and energy more volatile? Well, think of environmental factors that can affect the crops. Besides the environment, there could also be wars. There could be supply shortages from OPEC economies that affects oil supply. It's important to remember that all these are temporary changes that don't really affect the overall price level of an economy. But at the same time, why do we need these two inflation rates? Core inflation is used by policymakers to signal where the long-term trend of inflation is. It is generally assumed that the volatile aspects will eventually become normal. In developing countries, food and fuel can account for nearly 30 to 40% of the household consumption basket, which is in sharp contrast to developed markets, where food and fuel do not account for such a large amount. Headline inflation is really applicable to developing economies. So why did central banks raise interest rates? Banks increase interest rates so that the shorter-term volatile component of inflation does not convert into core inflation. This would happen if people demanded wage increase based on the headline rate, in line with the increase of food and fuel prices. In this case, inflation would become structurally higher rather than just being cyclical. If wages rise at the same level as the headline rate but food prices fall, the volatile part of inflation would reduce, but the core number will rise. So my question for the day related to inflation is, how does it compare across countries like the United Kingdom, the United States, and Europe?